So, John, could you tell us what has prompted you to change your career from a successful financier in financial services to a coach?
Well, Maria, you always learn from expert people, top people. And I was a regional director, over 1,500 people, maximizing their performance, getting the best out of them. So I retired 24 years ago with a lot of money. And then we had a reunion in my big company, and a big shareholder come up to me, and he was a Scottish shareholder. He was a multi-millionaire. And he heard about me going around the world, drinking, having parties. And he come up to me, Maria, and he said, "John Haynes, I've heard about you." He said, "Mark my word, the way you're going on, you haven't got long to live." And then he said to me these immortal words, Maria. He said, "When an educated person dies, it's like a library burning down with all the books in it, with all the knowledge like you've got, all the failures like you've got, all the successes like you've got. John Haynes, don't let your library burn down." And I didn't understand the Maria. And 2 weeks later, I said, "Yeah, I've got experience, I've got failures, I've got skills. Why should I let my library burn down?" And that's when I started the International Coaching Academy, to share my experience, my knowledge, and my skills with people.
So that's an amazing story, John, and such a true statement that yes, when educated person dies and don't leave anything behind. That's very true. So, John, at the time of the starting of your academy, what was your view? What was your vision for it? What was your initial goal?
Well, Maria, I got 24 years ago. I went to a big conference, and I got asked to give a talk. And one of the audience said, and there was 500 people in the room, "John Haynes, if you're so good, what's your mission statement?" And I just, from my heart and my soul, and I subconscious mind just comes out with things. And I said in front of 500 people, my mission is to inspire, train, and motivate 1 million people to live up to their full potential.
Wow.
Everybody clapped me, and that put it into my subconscious mind, and that's why I'm working so hard now. I want to achieve 1 million people to live up to their full potential.
So how far are you from your goal now?
Well, we've been to India, we've been to Australia, we're all over the world. We've got 500,000 people.
Wow.
So I've got to keep going and going. We've got online learning now, so that's helping us. So
how can we, your students, former and present students, and your supporters can help you to achieve that dream?
Well, to achieve my mission, Maria.
Your mission, sorry.
Einstein said the main purpose of life is to make a difference in everybody else's life. So if my students can be affiliates and refer me to people with low self-esteem and low self-worth, lacking of skills, you're going to make a difference in their lives, because with this financial academic, what's going on, people are going to find it hard to get jobs. We at the International Coaching Academy and yourself can get people with skills and knowledge, and you'll make a difference in their lives.
Fantastic. Just recently, John, you became a published author with your book called Flying with the Eagles. Is that your biography, or is it a compilation of your life and experiences, as well as things that you have learned?
Yeah, it's a mixture, Maria. It's a very good question. It's a mixture of my life, my experience, my failures, and all the things I've learned in my life in Kenya and everybody else. So it's part of me. It's part of
It's a
my life.
fantastic book, I must say, John. It's a very, very motivating. I have read it in one go with 2 hours.
Well done, you. Wow, you're the clever lady, Maria.
I just couldn't put it down.
Wow, that's very good indeed.
So I am now really promoting that book. I have given as a present to at least a dozen of people, and I will be giving it more. So it's really, and
Thank you, Maria. You're a
everyone
lovely lady.
everyone who reads it is really very happy, and they are just flabbergasted with the content of that book. So thank you for sharing your story in that book, because it's so valuable, and it is there for one to keep it for forever and look into it every time. John, you mentioned that you are doing now most of the things online. Obviously, that is with the COVID-19 situation. What are your plans about returning back to your facilities in Liverpool so people can physically come and be attending the courses?
Yeah. Well, what we're finding, Maria, I done a live Facebook yesterday, and I was on it
I
live,
watched it.
the Valley of Blame, and we had 70 people watching it right through for an hour.
Yeah.
When we're in Liverpool, we're only allowed 15 people on. So we're going to finish up the Masters, but I want to achieve my 1 million people. So online learning is the future. But
Yes.
what I'm going to do, Maria, I'm going to go to big stadiums and big conference halls and talk in front of 500 people.
That's
So
brilliant.
achieve my million. Yeah.
I think you are absolutely right, John. I think online sales, particularly for coaches, are the thing to do, because you've got access to so many people, and you can obviously help far more people than if you would do a face-to-face. So yes, and I really admire you for doing that, because your courses are absolutely fabulous. I have not seen so well designed course as yours are. They are absolute marvels.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you.
So next thing for you in your profession, as you said, is to stay online and go to large venues and give talks to at least 500 people. That is so amazing. So for the people who are watching us and will be watching us here in the future, what would be your advice for anyone who is now either losing a job, because this is what happened? The last statistics were around 700,000 people lost their jobs. What would you say to those people who are currently standing in the middle of the road, not knowing what to do with themselves?
Well, Maria, I was in the 60s, and in the 60s in Liverpool, we went through the dark nights of the soul. Yozza Hughes, there was no jobs about. And the only way we could get a job is by educating ourselves, by having high self-esteem, high self-worth, and adding values to the boss. So I started reading books, going on courses for 3 hours a day, and then I got a good job and got a better job. So the people who are now losing their jobs, the MPs never mentioned this. You've got to educate yourself. The brain has 100 billion brain cells, and it needs stimulation. And when you read a book, go on a course, listen to John Haynes, the brain gets stimulated. But if you're going to get a job, you've got to know how to communicate, be a leader, solve problems, achieve peak performance, have high self-confidence. And that's what we teach. So anybody who's lost a job now or worried about the job, they've got to be educated. They can't just sit back and watch Netflix and Coronation Street every night. They've got to take full responsibility for their education.
So what do you see currently as a person who has been in business for so many years, and obviously you are coaching executives and so on? How do you see the next 12 months evolving here in the UK?
The next 12 months, Maria, you've got to pay the price in advance. It's called long-term perspective. You've got to plan in advance. And too many business owners have stopped learning. They've stopped growing, and their clients are getting fed up with them. They've stopped learning how to run a business, how to not to fail in the business. And they think just by working long hours. We've gone through manpower. Now we're into brain power. And I can see a lot of businesses, because people have got in comfort zones, they've been lazy. And Maria, our online course is 50 years of my experience, and it usually goes for £1,800. And we're letting it go for £100. And would you believe it? A lot of business people would sooner spend their money in McDonald's and things like that. So they're going to fail, Maria. They haven't got a chance in the world. The competition is getting fiercer and fiercer. And the competition is after your jobs, after your clients, after your business. So people who don't pay the price in advance, no long-term perspective, they're going to fail.
Thank you, John. Just recently, you have added a new course to your offer. Could you tell us a little bit more about the indispensable, please?
Yeah, well, what indispensable means you've got to be so good in your job and your business. You're indispensable. The boss would even leave before you, because you're that good at your job. You're passionate about your job. And it's taken me 40 years to put indispensable together. So people who want to be the best and secure their family lives and earn more money and have a job for the future, I've got to look at this. It's about everything from peak performance to mental strength, to negotiation, to delegation, to being a top leader. It's everything, Maria. And people, we're getting in touch with MPs next week, because silly MPs, all they're talking about is criticizing each other.
Yeah.
They never talk about education, because they're not educated themselves. It's even Harvard Business School. They're saying the future belongs to the learner. And change is unstoppable, change is unpredictable. But what happening with change is going to be more competition, there's going to be more change. And if you don't keep up with your knowledge and your skills all the time and be indispensable, you're going to fail.
Yes, I like that name, being indispensable, because it really gives everything that one need to search for, isn't it? To be indispensable is many years of very hard work, self-education, and practicing. And obviously you have done all that. So how can we purchase that course?
Well, it's online, Maria. And once again, because of this coronavirus, only for people who are dedicated, they want to be indispensable. They want good jobs. They want to look after their families. They want to go on away on holiday. So indispensable is our online course. It's only £100. And it's
That's
50
very good.
years. It's 50 years of my experience. So people who don't buy it, they're failures, Maria.
Yes.
I have nothing more to do with them. They just want to go along, going to McDonald's, watching the television and blaming the government for everything what goes wrong.
Yes.
But being indispensable means you're taking full responsibility of your life, not blaming and just being the very, very best.
Fantastic. John, tell us about the other activity that you do. Obviously, you are doing live events on Facebook. You are doing webinars for your students. You are also doing networking. Is that correct?
That's correct, Maria. I realized many, many years ago when I was director of a big company, you've always got to add added value.
Yes.
To your customers, to your clients, to your friends. And once this lockdown started, everybody's sat back and I said, no, we've got to add added value to our master coaches, to my friends. So all the time, you've got to add added value. So what we're doing now, we do Zoom calls 3 or 4 a week. We're doing online Zoom calls. I'm coaching people. And it's all for free, Maria. I just want to add added value. So it builds up your brand. So when you get back to normal, people will appreciate it.
Thank you so much. John, I'm really grateful for you to share all of that information with us. And I invite our viewers to visit the internationalcoachingacademy.org and look at the opportunity there for learning and educating, particularly for the corporate world. This training is absolutely like for nothing, but the value of it is, you cannot really comprehend that. So I invite everyone, please visit John's website, attend John's live events on Facebook, which is John Haynes on facebook.com. Follow John and learn, because this is a wealth of education, wisdom, and information. John, once more, thank you so much for being with us. And just if you hold on, I